Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. I'm a licensed cognitive behavior therapist and a licensed mental health counselor. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the contents in this channel. Today, I'd like to talk about the case of Nicola Bulley. Nicola Bulley was reported missing on the 23rd of January at 9:33 a.m. Her dog was found and a mobile device, a phone device was found on the bench, and a dog was found near the bench area. That is near the River Wye in St. Michael's, Lancashire. Lancashire police were called to the bench and to the area where Nicola was last seen. That was the upper field, I believe. Nicola's mobile device, like I said, on the phone was found without its collar. The dog was running back and forth from the bench towards the gate. There's a small gate for people to come in and out of the fields there. There's the upper and the lower field. Nicola was in a work meeting call. Nicola is a mortgage advisor and she was apparently doing really well at her work, according to her father. The father saw her last on Thursday evening. He said Nicola seemed to be really happy and satisfied with the job. Nicola was actually in the job meeting, but her her microphone wasn't on, and neither was the camera. The zoom-in camera wasn't on. But Nicola was aware of the meeting and she was just listening in to the meeting, according to Lancashire law enforcement. When the phone was found on the bench, law enforcement were called. Lancashire police were called, but before that, the person who found the dog and the phone made a couple of calls, searched around, allegedly even called a veteran to check what she could do with the dog that she found, and she later found out that the two girls, I guess their pictures were on the phone, on the profile picture with Nicola and her partner Paul and the two daughters. So the school was informed. Law enforcement were informed and a large search was conducted. The area where law enforcement, Lancashire police, automatically said that they believe that Nicola possibly went into the water. It wasn't made clear whether she fell into the water, if it was an accident or something happened, but it just said that Nicola would be most likely in the water. I personally believe that we've seen enough crime cases, and most crime cases, you always have to have an open mind and not just put all your eggs in one basket, because that can be that can be quite wrong for the case, because you have to look at it in other theories too. Anything is possible. Because last Nicola was seen was around the field. It's very strange that somebody leaves their phone and especially the dog, the pet, the best friend behind near a river and just disappear. The search was conducted for over 3 weeks. Nicola Bulley's case turned out to be one of the most famous cases since 2023. Obviously, it's really mysterious the way Nicola, like her partner Paul said, people just don't vanish in thin air. Nicola is said to be athletic, a good swimmer, and we see in all her pictures, she's always with a dog. She seems to know those areas very well. So it makes it kind of difficult for me personally and for many people to believe that this could just be an accident. Although accidents can happen, usually when you go and walk in a certain place, if you're used to a certain area, and you know that the river bank is right near there, you would always be careful not to go near those areas, especially when you know it's a dark, early morning or foggy morning. It becomes like a habit for you because it's like our brain warns us of something that is dangerous. We know certain places. It's like us walking. We know automatically not to walk in the highway. We know that we're going to be hit. So it's like I would assume that Nicola would have known that that is danger for her to even go near. So even it was the theory was said at one point after Nicola's body was found that the ball could have been the reason that Nicola fell into the water. And that was my one of my very first theories at the start, but I don't think so either. Because I personally don't have a dog, but I would assume even as a dog owner, you know that a ball comes and goes. You wouldn't take a risk of your life or risk of your pet's life by going after a ball. That doesn't make sense. And what makes it most mysterious is that I can understand why most of us have a hard time understanding this case because this this river wire and the banks, the river banks was checked thoroughly by Peter Fording and his team with the Zona equipments. It was checked thoroughly by law enforcement divers, voluntary divers, and many other people. So that's why it makes it, I don't understand that the weather can make things and the river flow different and the tides and all that. But it's just that so many searches was thoroughly made by everyone and that Nicola Bulley just got rest her soul just appeared in a very strange place makes it difficult for many people to understand basically. And then the fact that Nicola's confidential information of her alcohol addiction and Nicola's personal information of her menopause, the hormone therapies that she was taking, all that seems to be really, really unprofessional because Nicola has left behind two beautiful young daughters who will grow up to be women. And for them to have to grow up with knowing that the fact that their mother was all over the news about her issues, which are quite personally, if they existed or not. Because let's not forget, I'll be honest, the first thing I wanted to check is who confirmed or who said that Nicola had those issues, and that was Nicola's partner. If it was law enforcement who found that out through medical teams and other confidential ways, I wouldn't have, I would have still found that to be wrong by breaching her rights, but then I can still understand that law enforcement have done it to find Nicola. I still do understand that. But then, like you always say, you just have to check who the messenger could be sometimes bringing you the news. They could be false or they could be true. Because for me, what I see in the pictures, looks can be deceiving, but Nicola seemed to be a very active person. You can see she always has sports clothes on, she's fit. Like Paul Fording said, that she would have, if she fell by mistake too, you would have noticed scratches or something on the breast bank of her, of her trying to pull herself up. And Nicola was supposed to be a good swimmer. So there's so many things that just don't make sense. For me, I'm more personally interested in Who knew Nicola was going to the riverside? Although she does that often. It's either her or Paul that does that. Her work was aware of it, her friends' family was aware of it. And what that doesn't make sense to me, especially as a mental health counselor, is if poor Nicola was actually struggling to alcohol addictions, why would Paul and the family, without any judgment, why would they let her drive why would they let Nicola drive the daughters to school? Because clearly, if somebody's having alcohol addiction, the last thing you need is a DUI happening. So that doesn't sit right with me. And for me, all I care about is that justice is done for everyone equally. And especially, I really care about the trauma it leaves behind for Nicola's two beautiful daughters. Everyone deserves an answer. And it seems like that we have two important cases, at least, that I'm working on. We have Brian Koberger from Idaho, Moscow, who is charged for allegedly murdering the four young students in Idaho, Moscow. That's Kaylee Congalvis, Zana Konodal, Maddie Morgan, and Ethan Chapin. So that case is something that we were always really looking forward to because we want justice to be done for these poor victims. And we really always want to know what got Brian Kohlberger to go to that stage of mind to do such a horrible crime, especially when he's a teacher and a student himself. That is a case that is really important. And now we have Nicola Bulley's autopsy results that will be finally made public on the 26th of June. So if this ends up to be an accident, I really hope that Nicola's daughters and family can continue getting therapy. And God rest her soul. But if there's something that needs to be something more that the investigation finds out, I hope justice is done. I don't think it's right for any human being, any of us, as public figures, to be going around and in interfering in cases that are active, no matter which part of the world it happens in, because law enforcement are made, it's their job, it's their investigation, and they will seek answers. But we as the public just want the answers. We need to know. I know everything we're not entitled to know, but it just leaves me with more questions than answers. If it was true with all the allegations that were said about Nicola, I always said from the start that whatever happened 10 days before Nicola went missing, when law enforcement and the medical team came over to her house, whatever happened that day has to do with Nicola's missing. So I wouldn't be surprised if law enforcement or if the police and if the public thought that she could have possibly unlived herself. I could have understood that, but it's not necessarily always there. It's not always that is the possibility. That's why it's important that a thorough investigation is done, because it was very strange for a body to come up caught up in the creek. That is very possible, but it's just that with all the researches, we had divers, zona teams, we had the police walking up and down the banks non-stop for 23 days. And it's just strange for me that Nicola's body was just missed. But that's why an investigation's been done, and I hope we get more answers for that. Because I would want those two children Nothing can help with the trauma that they have been and they will most likely be going through for the rest of their lives. A mother's a primary figure. To lose your mother in such a horrific accident and the whole world is watching. And because of social media, obviously, it's become such a popular case. It could be there is beneficials in cases becoming public, but then it has so many sad and negative sides. There'll be a lot of trolls, there'll be a lot of attacks, there'll be a lot of judgment passed on every side, and the main person and the main situation, the main aim is Nicola and her children will be forgotten in this. That's why Nicola deserves the right to her justice. May she rest in peace, and I hope her children will get love, support, strength, and I hope nobody ever judges them the more they grow up because this is a very sad case. And you can imagine just growing up knowing that your mother, this case became so popular. So I hope one thing that they get the truth, whatever may be the truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. I wish the family of Nicola condolence. I hope that we all have the respect and decency to pray for them and let them grieve. And I hope the autopsy gives us the truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a nice one. Bye.